All right, gents, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over something I got a little while ago. This is the new Trex Arms chest rig. Their quad flap chest rig. Um, kind of some of my initial thoughts and some of the why behind why I picked it up. The why behind why I picked it up, I've got a bunch of different chest rigs. This one for me looked like what they were doing. None of it is revolutionary or groundbreaking. They literally have taken a bunch of concepts from other companies that have worked well and combined them all. So, the front mag flaps look like Cry. The GPs that are another new product of theirs are very similar to Spiritus. The H harness is like pretty much everyone else's H harness, Mayflower, whoever. So they took a lot of other people's ideas and combined them all into one, took the best features and gave you this. So I had been looking at the Onward Research Recce rig, and for me it wasn't working because there were only, I believe it was like two PALS spots on either side. So you had your 4 double mags and only 2 spots. And if you wanted to put a radio, you had to mount a radio pouch, which effectively killed the real estate on left or right. So some of the things that Trex did, jumping into it, that I appreciate. I've always liked the mag flaps on Cry products. I think they're, Cry is one of the best companies out there making these things. Everything Cry makes fits me, at least me, well. So I've been very happy with Cry products. Up at the top, they're GPs. So let's talk about the GPs for a minute. GPs are, let's see if we can get you some references. So the Trex GP takes up three rows of moly. This is a Spiritus large GP. This takes up 4 rows of moly. So you can see it's almost the same length. This one's a little bit shorter with the Trex, more narrow, right? 3 slots versus 4. They also added 2 separate zippered compartments here. You can see it, maybe. There you go. 2 different zippered compartments, whereas Spiritus is just one large cavernous pocket. Of all the products Spiritus Systems makes, this is my favorite product. I fucking love their large GP. I can fit tons of stuff in there. I fit, warming layers, night vision, whatever you're going to put in there. Large GP is, in my opinion, their best product. For another size comparison, this is kind of mounted on a thing too, but that is Spiritus's medium GP. So if you can see, still a little bit narrower, but longer. So it's basically a bastard child between the Spiritus medium and large GPs. That being said, I really like the pouch. They also have the hydration pouch they came out with, which is, can fit Nalgene's, canteens, water bottles, whatever you got, the Platattack ones. I really like these. I'll probably pick up one of the hydration ones to see how I like it. But honestly, I can fit a couple of water bottles in this if that's what I want to do. I just want to take a chest rig out. I tend to stay away from chest rigs because my role as the medic for my guys, I need that backspace for a med bag. And when I do this, I need a backpack to put, patrol items or whatever the fuck we're doing. So, all the extras, the accoutrement, I guess, has to go in a pack for me, which is typically why I like to run belt kit. And we'll probably do something on my belt kit later on. But belt kit has kind of revolutionized that for me. It frees my back up. I can carry a full-size med bag and all my fighting load, as well as stuff for 24, 48 hours. So belt kit is awesome for me. I still like trying out some of the newer products, playing around with stuff, seeing if it'll work for me. As far as chest rigs go, I love this thing. I've had it for a little while now. I've taken it out a couple of times. There's still pine needles and shit in there. But getting back to the GP, it has these smaller zippered pouches on the front here. So for me, I'll put like most of the stuff that lives in this one kind of goes on body for me and just kind of lives empty. So I can throw water bottles or whatever I need. But the VS17 usually goes in my top. I've got some caffeine pills, drip drop or liquid IV or whatever, and then some small Skittles or Starbursts, whatever, something for some quick sugar and more fucking pine needles. When you open it, let's see if we can kind of show you. So I'll keep a monocular. So if I want to look at something, I don't have to use a magnified optic or anything, point a gun at something I may not want to be. So I just keep it in one of these little felt bags. So kind of protects it, and then just a regular GPS. And after that, it's pretty much empty. I think this is a Trex Arms product as well. You can see that. Maybe. Let's see if we can zoom in for you guys at all. No. All right. Fuck it, we ball. So you've got the little battery organizer or whatever. I'll keep a paint can opener in there for stuck casings if you got to yeet them out. Very identically to the Spiritus product. It's got little tabs on either side that you can lash items to, a compass, other, kind of mission critical items you can't lose. So normally what I'll do is have a piece of shot cord or something, and the GPS will get clipped onto there if it's going to live in there. If not, it'll live on body with me. But just a way to, if it falls out, you're not losing that. It would suck to lose your way of navigation, but also if you're in a less than permissive environment and you were kind of tracking yourself and following you, it may potentially lead people back to somewhere you don't want them to go. So tether your shit down. The woods likes to take everything. Chop down VS17, and we already talked about some licky chewies and just morale stuff there. This one for me, it does have a little map pocket in the back, which we'll get to in a minute. That's a huge selling point for me. A lot of chest rigs nowadays don't have that, and I fucking hate it. I really like being able to put flat items or small items against the chest. But I don't put maps up there. Maps for me usually live in a pocket, in a Ziploc bag. There's all sorts of high-speed leaderboards and map pouches and shit. Honestly, laminate them and put them in a Ziploc bag, and it works. So over here, I have another one of those little battery organizers. So I've got an extra rechargeable 18650, some pens, Sharpies, pencils. I keep a little nail clipper in there because, at least for me, I get hangnails digging around and all this stuff catches on the Velcro. And if I can make myself just a little bit more comfortable than having to deal with all the hangnails and shit, awesome. Also, it doubles for foot care. So then I'll keep a Right in the Rain, protractors, compasses. My main compass lives on body with me, but it does have a little organizer, if you could see that. So let's see if we can show you. This is a really nice feature of the GPs, is back here is a little slot. So instead of just dropping my notebook in there, which I could, I can just stick it right there, and I know it's not going to get lost down there. Overall, I really like the GPs. I don't know if they're my new favorite, but they've been great. I still really like the Spiritus ones, but the Trex one only gives me 3 rows of Molly. Spiritus needs 4, so make it work. Up here, I'll keep an extra pair of Ear Pro, Surefire Ear Pro, and then just one of the, for training stuff we'll use, Baofangs are great for training. It's a whole rabbit hole to get down. I'm not going to do it, but the little earpiece that comes with Baofangs, if you want to take your helmet off or whatever and be able to still have in-ear comms, So I keep that in there. And then here is kind of my night vision stuff. So some cat crap, a lens cloth, and then some AA batteries. And it all fits pretty well in that little area. So those are the GPs, kind of some of the things I keep in there. Overall, I really like the GPs. I think they're well thought out. They took the best aspects of cry pouches, of Spiritus pouches, and combined them all. And I think it integrates really well. A note on the basically just brazen stealing of a lot of concepts. I was looking at the onward research, but like I said, the 2 rows of Molly on either side were a deal breaker for me. I don't know why anyone would ever buy an onward research rig when this exists. Sorry, that might hurt some feelings. 2 rows of Molly on either side, having to attach the radio externally, that's a no-go for me. That's why I didn't buy one. Trex came out with this. It's pretty much what I've been looking for. And fucking more pine needles and sound. Anyway, so I think that rig's kind of going to die, to be honest. I don't know why anyone would buy an onward research rig other than the fact that Grand Thumb makes them, or whatever. Someone in Mexico makes them and sells them to Grand Thumb. I don't fucking know who makes them for them. It could be made in America. I don't fucking know. But the harness, like I said, is pretty much like every other H-style harness. It does have, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 spots that you can mount a PTT. This bottom one here is elastic. These top 3 are sewn. Yep, the top one's elastic too. So middle 2 are sewn, top one's elastic, bottom one's elastic. And it does have some one wrap that is sewn on there. So one wrap is retained. I use that just for hanging onto a headlamp. So whenever I go to put it on, the headlamp comes off. And other than that, I haven't found a use for them. Probably cable management would be my guess. But I don't know what mags exactly this chest rig can fit. If you run a weird gun, a commie gun, foul, whatever. Trex Arms did a pretty good in-depth review on them. But I do not know. 5.56 has worked great. Coming around to the back is kind of where the cool stuff happens. So their radio pouches, and I watched their videos on them, they designed them to fit civilian radios. That is a huge market that is, in my opinion, underserved. Companies like Spiritus will come out and they will make, MPU pouches and shit like that, but most people can't afford, $50,000 radios. If they're issued to you and you want to use it professionally, cool, right on. This is the Baofeng 152 sized one. The reason I like that is honestly just because of the battery life. We've done multi-day events, 3-4 days. This has been on, getting used, and the fucking thing has not budged from a full battery, like full bars. I love it. It's great. Buttons are really big on it. Works great. Love it. These pouches, though, these pouches are sewn on, but they will fit, a 152 size radio. If you want to throw a GPS in there, it'll fit that. UV5Rs, Yaesus, some of the smaller Motorola's probably. They go over a bunch of radios that'll fit. You may, if you use the 152 sized ones, start to waller out some of this elastic, but it has retention, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. They're nice and padded. I haven't had any issues with it. It's worked great for me. This back piece here does come off, so you can attach danglers or whatever you want. I'm not a big dangler fan. To give credit where it's due, the Onward Research, I think it's the Simp pouch. That's one that I would be interested in getting if it's ever in stock in multicam, just because it's a small form factor. Faro makes one too. That's pretty small. But these pouches are lined with Velcro. That's how they get their retainers to fit in there. You can adjust them. It works great. I've also found that if you just put some Velcro on your sheath, you can fit a knife back there perfectly. Over here is that admin pouch with more pine needles and shit. So let's see if we can do this. So it opens up. This would be your body side. So you reach in there. I keep a small boo-boo kit. Pretty much everything I would need. I've even got some Close-X in there. So if I am away from my pack or whatever, I do have a way to, close some wounds, moleskin, OTC meds, Dermabond, stuff like that. You got ways to do your first aid, some quality of life stuff too. I will never go anywhere without a triangle bandage, cravat, whatever you want to call it. Million uses for it. But I'll keep one in there. And then let's see what else we got. Usually this will live in a pocket, but it's back here for now. It's just one of the North American Rescue survival wraps. So kind of a Mylar blanket deal. And then what else we got? Some Visine and a little Bic lighter. So all that fits back there pretty well. What else we got? Oh, that's right. My Leatherman tool bits. So all in all, guys, I really like this rig. I think they did a good job in combining the aspects of everything that was working and combining it into one rig. The cable management stuff up here is really clever. 4 slots, adjust it where you need it. It's a Disco PTT, and shout out to Fred with Spiritus Systems who gave me this idea. Is one of the little microfiber cloths just up top there, and it just stays attached to the H harness. I use this thing more than anything else, especially if we're out doing night vision stuff or whatever, and I got to keep wiping glasses or the nods if it fogs. I use this thing all the time, and it's one of the better little tricks I've picked up from the internet. So there are some benefits to the internet. So guys, that's pretty much it. Combined aspects of other people's stuff that was working. Their own little twist on some stuff with the radio pockets. I really appreciate that. I don't get fun radios anymore. So overall, solid rig. I recommend it. It seems to be very well made. The stitching looks good. I haven't had any issues with it. It's been out in the dark, getting the fuck scratched out of it on trees and shit as we're kind of moving through. Overall, solid rig. Recommend it. All right, guys. We'll catch you later.